Hey guys, hope everyone's doing really well today or tonight. I wanted to make a quick video on how you can save 90% of your income. Now, actually, before I begin, this is the previous video was the last video on my brain dump series. So this is the first of the personal finance series. So I hope you guys enjoy just specializing, or I guess niching down into something that potentially could be something for the channel, or it's just something for 30 days and then I can switch to something else. So anyway, um, yeah, I wanted to let you guys know about how I'm able to save 90% of my income or share those learnings with you. Um, and yeah, the things you can do to do the same, whether you want to do it. Um, but yeah, to know this is definitely possible, and how you can approach that. So let's get straight into it. Now, it comes as no surprise that if you're looking to save 90% of your income, you're probably going to need to sacrifice most things in your life. So, and again, this isn't for everyone, but if you're someone who's willing to sacrifice quite a few things for the purposes of saving a lot of your income and then being able to grow that over time much quicker, then potentially something to look into, like I did personally. So yeah, 99% of people won't be able to save 90% of their income as it impacts all every areas of their life. So I mean, by sacrificing most things, just think about anything you spend money on and cut that down by, at least, 50% at least, right? So if you have a $20,000 car, it might mean selling that car and buying a $10,000 car. Some people might buy a $5,000 car. Or what they do is they buy a $15,000 car that's also a hybrid car, which means they're not paying as much in fuel and insurances. So there's lots of different ways you can do it, but essentially, whatever you have now, cut it down by 50% at least. Um, and would that even be an option for you? Now, for me, that meant cutting down having a car to not having a car. It meant that I catch buses and public transport and Ubers if needed. Um, and in terms of food, it meant instead of going out and spending $30 $40 for a nice meal, I would either cook at home, or if I did go out to eat, it would be something from the Savers menu at a fast food place. And very rarely would I go out and spend $20 on some food. I just wouldn't do it. And in terms of housing, that also meant living at home. It meant, if you currently rent somewhere, it might mean sharing with friends, or it might mean moving back home with your parents, or moving outside of your city to where it's a little bit cheaper. And again, not for 99% of people, but for the 1%, you guys would definitely appreciate this. Now, if you're not currently there, but you're somewhat interested in this, I mean, it really involves just developing your mindset and always finding new ways to earn income and decrease costs. Now, if you're let's just say you're saving half of all your income now to get to 90%. It's just everything in your life needs to change. That means not going out to eat, or if you do, you're finding the saver menus items, or you're purchasing at times when there's a massive discount from the supermarket. It also means little things like not going to the supermarket hungry. It means planning your day around public transport. It means potentially not going out to eat at all for weeks on end and always eating at home. Um, this isn't a pretty life for many people, but it is possible, and it's not going to be long term. It is a short term thing that people do to set themselves up for the long term. And a surprising amount of people are doing this without, with no not having a choice, with costs and cost of living going up so much. But it's for some people, it's more an intentional choice. Now, in terms of increasing income, right, this would mean you could start a side hustle, you could get a second job, or you could pick up more hours at work. Now, I've done all these things, and it's paid off really well. I've started lots of side businesses. I've had at one point three jobs, all part time or casual, but three rotating jobs, and picking up more hours. When I worked at McDonald's, every single time someone offered me extra hours, I would take it, and that meant I was working at some really weird hours sometimes. Sometimes starting at 4 in the morning and not finishing till nighttime. And I wasn't, believe it or not, I wasn't able to get any kind of weekend pay or extra work pay or anything like that for whatever reason. So it was really just an hourly pay, low at the time. I believe it was between $12 to $14, something like that, Australian. Um, and yeah, I would just work, 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 and that gave me no time to spend money. And if I needed food, I'd get it from McDonald's. But I had no time to spend money. All I was doing was working. Now, another really important way to do it is to decrease costs. So, that could mean moving back home, not eating out, selling your car, or optimizing your taxes is something that not many people talk about. But if you're currently earning a lot and you're spending a lot, and you haven't even looked at your taxes yet, being able to optimize your taxes just means, if you're currently paying, say, 45% tax, if you can cut that down to 30%, you've just created a 15% arbitrage, for free, essentially. This is money that you're not spending yourself. You haven't actually seen this money, it's gone straight to the government. But if there are ways you can structure your taxes through claiming things on your tax return or potentially investing in more tax friendly vehicles like a superannuation fund, or a trust, then these are ways that not many people think about, but they are ways you can optimize your pay that you receive from your job or your business. And look, for some, there is a goal in mind. For example, FIRE, which stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. But personally, I've just integrated it into my lifestyle, and I've just made it something that I'm okay with. Do I have anything lavish in my life? No. Do I live a pretty boring life? Yeah. But is it effective? Am I able to save a lot of money? And have I been able to grow multiple investment properties and crypto stocks and everything at a young age? Yeah, and that will set me up for the rest of my life. So I won't have to worry about having to work extra hours or having to stress about money. It just won't be a thing I'll be worried about in the future. Now, some really high impact strategies for those who are looking to save 90% of their income. I think if you're able to position yourself for a raise or a bonus at work, or to find a new job with a high salary, these things are going to make the biggest difference. Now, most people will do their job, will do the minimum, and kind of get in at 9 or leave at 5, and they'll just do the minimum. I've never been someone who wanted to do the minimum, and people thought it was really weird that I would, be in before everyone else and leave after everyone else. But I'd be getting more work done. I was able to uh, talk more with coworkers and, I guess, network in a sense that people enjoyed being around me. And I was always seen as someone that, in all my jobs, as someone that was really interested in doing well at their job and being friendly and wanted to connect with people. And for that very reason, I've been able to, grow, to a good income where I'm currently at. I've been able to get bonuses, raises when they come around. Or potentially, if that doesn't work for you, and you've been at your job and there's just no option for a raise or a promotion, maybe you don't like the people you work with, then I think jumping to a job with a higher salary is going to be the most impactful thing you can do for the least amount of work. You might be doing your exact same job, but for $100,000, but it could be done for $150,000 if you go to a competitor or maybe somewhere in a different industry where they're wanting where they're in need of workers. So that could be really interesting. Now, another big way you can cut your costs is by cutting your big three expenses. So that would be your housing, transport, and your food. These normally make up, near 50%, if not more, of people's income. So housing could be moving in with family. It could just be selling and renting and then investing that money instead. Transport could be cutting down to a cheaper car or moving somewhere where there's public transport. and food, like I mentioned before, just cutting down food where possible. Excuse me, we're not cutting down the quality of the food, but maybe the type of food and where we source our food. So that's going to make a really big difference. And by the way, I've felt really great just eating from home and being able to have meals that are home cooked and they're not full of BS has been really nice too. I've definitely felt the difference. So another really great one is to speak to an accountant. In terms of ways you can minimize your tax, or learn online if you're more comfortable with just learning. Obviously, don't do things that you're not comfortable with and you don't understand. But people do file their own taxes, and that may be through things that they've learned online. But definitely double check with an expert if you're not sure. Now, the reason why is because if you're earning, let's just say $100,000, 23,000 of of that salary is going to taxes. So if there's a way you can say cut down $10,000 and put those $10,000 back into your pocket, um, that's a no-brainer in my book. So definitely look into that. That might be a free $10,000 that you can be investing into super, or you can be investing into a normal investment account or even property. Now, once you've paid back any debts, all money should be placed into different investment vehicles. So, if you're someone that is currently in debt, or they're not, or they're saving their money in their bank account, I think this is the wrong way to go about it. Definitely have an emergency fund. At least 3 to 6 months, but all your money should be working for you always. So, if you don't have enough money for a down deposit for a home, definitely invest it into the share market. The S&P 500 is a really reliable index fund that I've used personally, and that's made a really good gain. But as long as you have your money working for you, even in a long-term deposit, if that's a better deal, or you feel more safe, then sure, whatever works. Um, and then finally, here, being able to continually tweak, review, and improve. Over your life will always guarantee success. So if you're really in the mindset of just decreasing costs, raising your income, just really, really throw yourself into it and just tweak and tailor things every single day, month, week, year. By doing it that way, you're just going to be able to optimize and optimize and optimize and optimize, and just really perfect your current situation, or put yourself on a path to do even more. So for me, that's meant journaling every day, or most days, sorry, reading lots of educational content online and through books, and just wanting to just genuinely eager and keen to reduce my costs where possible or make more money. So that's the mindset you kind of need to be in to save 90% of your income. It won't work for most people, and that's totally fine. But for those who are really willing to give the good go and really get ahead in life, it's definitely an option. It's definitely possible. So if you're not sure, or if you're even a little bit curious, give it a go. There's lots of people who engage in FIRE, so financial independence, retire early, and really have all these little strategies and whatnot to get around it and save a lot of their income. So hope you guys have found value in this video. If you have any questions, let me know down below. But otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.